Thank you so much for taking my question, Marianne. Some other Democratic candidates, such as Dean Phillips, don't like taking questions. So one of the biggest criticisms of Joe Biden is that he is missing. He's not really present in the media. He ends a lot of his speeches kind of wandering off in a confused state. He doesn't take a lot of questions. Some people say that's because he's too old or too senile to serve, or that he has puppet masters, maybe even the military-industrial complex pulling his strings. Do you have any comment on that? Do you think Joe Biden is too old to serve, or do you think he isn't really running the show behind the scenes? Do you think he's not really in charge?
You know, that's a very difficult one for me. I don't want to be ageist. Donald Trump is, 2 years younger than him? We've all seen those videos. We've all read those stories. I just feel that this is the kind of thing you can see for yourself. You don't need me to weigh in, because I just feel it's unkind. Yeah. I feel it's ageist. I'm 71, by the way. So it's not like I'm...
You're sharp, though.
Way sharper than I am. There's 30 years difference.
By the way, speaking of that, I am only running for one term because I do not think that a baby boomer should be president in 2028. I think a baby boomer should be president in 2028, and also I don't want to be a president who's even thinking for one moment that if I do this, I might not as easily get reelected. I want to come in there and I want to help create a kind of chiropractic adjustment. The U.S. government needs its heart back, and I hope to inspire the people of the United States to get our spine back as well. We've seen those videos, and we've heard those stories, and it also does seem that in the big decisions, he's definitely making those big decisions. I believe the people who say that he is. I will tell you one other thing, though. Given his age, it is reasonable for any citizen to say, well, how do I feel about Kamala Harris? Because it is reasonable to think that it could happen. Not necessarily upon the cause of death, which is illness, whatever, the natural course of life. And so I think that that's part of what people are thinking about. For me, the issue is I simply do not believe he would beat Donald Trump. And I am grateful to the president for his having done so. He has done some things I agree with, some things I very much disagree with. He calls himself a climate president, but as I mentioned earlier, he's actually given more oil drilling permits than Trump did, and so forth. Mainly, conceptually, the issue is this, and I think I mentioned this before. The president does try to ameliorate the stress of people living within the confines of an economically unjust system. But there's nothing there about inherent, fundamental economic reform, structural economic reform. That is what I wish to see, and if president, I would do my best to effectuate.